Sydney Sweeney has built a career not just on talent, but on strategy. She has shown that controversy does not have to destroy a career. It can fuel it. Through bold roles, savvy social media use, and careful PR framing, she has turned scrutiny into relevance and relevance into currency. Her story is not only about one actress, it is about how modern celebrity works. In a world where attention is the most valuable resource, those who can harness controversy without being destroyed by it have the power to shape their destinies. Sydney Sweeney is one of those rare figures who has mastered the game, and that is why her rise is not just fascinating, it is instructive. Sydney Sweeney isn't just an actress, she's the most controversial brand in Hollywood, and she might be rewriting the rulebook of fame right in front of us. The rise of a modern star. In Hollywood, fame is rarely a straight line. Careers rise and fall, stars burn brightly and then fade, and some actors struggle to find balance between their art and their image. Yet every once in a while a figure emerges who understands not only how to act, but also how to transform attention, whether positive or negative, into power. Sydney Sweeney is one of those figures. She is known for her breakout roles in Euphoria and the White Lotus, but her career is not only built on acting talent, it is built on strategy. Sydney Sweeney has mastered the delicate art of turning controversy into currency. Whether through bold choices in roles, unapologetic use of social media, or clever navigation of public criticism, she has managed to transform scrutiny into fuel for growth. Few YouTube creators have unpacked the actual mechanics behind her meteoric ascent. Most coverage either praises her beauty, critiques her choices, or highlights her performances. But beneath the surface there is a deeper story. A story of calculated risk-taking, marketing genius, and modern celebrity building. The early struggles. Sydney Sweeney's rise was not immediate. She began with small roles in television shows and films, often unnoticed by mainstream audiences. Like many aspiring actors, she faced rejection and limited opportunities. But she brought something else to the table: a strategic mind. From the start, she kept detailed notebooks about her characters, mapping emotional arcs and motivations. This dedication to craft impressed casting directors and prepared her for bigger breaks. Yet talent alone does not guarantee fame. Hollywood is filled with talented actors who never become stars. The truth is, Sydney Sweeney cracked the code of modern fame, and nobody in Hollywood is safe. What set Sydney apart was her ability to seize moments of attention and reshape them to her advantage. Euphoria, the breakout, and the backlash. Her breakout role in Euphoria changed everything. Playing Cassie Howard, Sydney embodied vulnerability, insecurity, and chaos in a way that resonated with audiences. Here's the playbook Sydney uses to turn scandals into spotlights, and why it works every time. But the role also drew controversy. Critics accused the show of exploiting young actresses by focusing heavily on nudity. Sydney herself faced questions about whether she was being objectified. This could have derailed a career. Many young stars retreat when faced with criticism of this kind. But Sydney did something different. She leaned into the conversation. She defended her choices, explaining that nudity for her was part of expressing a character's truth. Sydney Sweeney's rise isn't luck. It's a masterclass in weaponizing controversy, and the backlash from Euphoria proved it. In doing so, she turned potential weakness into strength. The discussion about her role kept her in the headlines. Audiences debated her choices, and while some critics disapproved, millions of fans admired her confidence. The White Lotus, reinventing the image. Her role in the White Lotus cemented her as more than a supporting figure. Playing Olivia Mossbacher, she showcased a different side of her talent, sharp, sarcastic, and layered with social critique. Here too, controversy followed. Some critics questioned whether she was simply cast for her appearance rather than her skill. What if I told you the very thing critics attack her for is the same thing that makes her unstoppable? But the critical acclaim of the show silenced much of that doubt. She used the opportunity to highlight her range, positioning herself as both a star of provocative youth drama and a respected performer in prestige television. Again, she showed the same pattern: take the narrative, redirect it, and emerge stronger. Social media as a stage. One of Sydney's most powerful tools is social media. Unlike many actors who treat Instagram as a passive marketing tool, she uses it as an active stage. She posts behind-the-scenes clips, glamorous photo shoots, and even personal family moments. Each post is crafted to spark conversation. When she shares glamorous images, she fuels fascination with her beauty. When she posts about family, she invites relatability. And when criticism comes, she responds selectively, allowing fans to rally to her defense. This balancing act keeps her in constant conversation. Social media ensures she is never just a character from a show. She is Sydney Sweeney, a figure people follow daily, a star who blurs the line between personal and professional. The controversial birthday party. One example of controversy turned into currency was her mother's birthday celebration. Photos surfaced of her family wearing red hats, which some interpreted as political statements. Online backlash erupted. Sydney quickly clarified that the event was not political, but the damage seemed done. Sydney Sweeney has one advantage no other star has: she makes her haters her fuel. Yet instead of hiding from the incident, she allowed the conversation to unfold. Fans debated fiercely and media outlets covered the story extensively. What could have been a scandal that harmed her reputation became another chapter in her narrative, a demonstration that she was at the center of cultural conversation. By not over-explaining or retreating, she turned a moment of controversy into proof of her relevance. In today's media environment, relevance itself is currency, branding beyond acting. Sydney also understands that modern celebrity is not limited to screen roles. She has positioned herself as a brand, securing partnerships with fashion houses, luxury labels, and major campaigns. These endorsements are not accidental. They are built on her ability to command attention even through controversy. Fashion brands in particular love figures who generate conversation. When Sydney walks a red carpet, social media reacts instantly. That kind of buzz translates into value for the companies that align with her. Every controversy keeps her name circulating, and every new campaign transforms that attention into revenue. The PR mechanic. Behind all of this is a sophisticated PR strategy. Sydney Sweeney does not simply react to events, she frames them. When accused of being overexposed in Euphoria, she framed it as empowerment. When her family party sparked backlash, she framed it as a misunderstanding but did not retreat. When critics underestimated her acting, she chose roles that showcased range. Her team understands the modern attention economy. In this world, silence can be damaging. The key is to manage the story, not avoid it. By addressing controversies with confidence and redirecting the narrative, Sydney maintains control. Hollywood's double standard. Her story also highlights the double standards of Hollywood. Male actors often escape scrutiny for controversial roles, while female actors are criticized for choices involving sexuality or family. Sydney has turned this unfair dynamic into an opportunity. By openly addressing double standards, she not only defends herself but also positions herself as a voice for others. That adds authenticity, another form of currency in today's culture. Why global fascination persists. Why are audiences so fascinated by Sydney Sweeney? It is because she represents a paradox. She is glamorous yet relatable, bold yet vulnerable, criticized yet admired. Each controversy adds another layer to her complexity. Sydney Sweeney is breaking Hollywood's biggest rule. She refuses to play it safe, and the world can't look away. In an era where celebrities often try to play it safe, Sydney does the opposite. She embraces risk. That risk draws attention, and attention keeps her career moving forward. The YouTube gap. It is surprising that YouTube creators have not fully unpacked this story. There are countless breakdowns of films, shows, and celebrity gossip, but few have analyzed the mechanics of Sydney's rise. The gap exists because her strategy is subtle. It is not about one scandal or one role. It is about a consistent pattern of using every moment, positive or negative, to build her profile. For creators, this is an opportunity. Sydney Sweeney's story is not just celebrity gossip. It is a case study in modern public relations, digital branding, and the power of controversy. What comes next for Sydney? She is already branching into producing, building greater control over her projects. That move signals another step in turning attention into influence. The risks remain. Controversy can backfire. Public fascination can turn into fatigue. But if her track record is any indication, Sydney Sweeney will continue to transform those risks into opportunities. Sydney Sweeney has built a career not just on talent but on strategy. She has shown that controversy does not have to destroy a career. It can fuel it. Through bold roles, savvy social media use, and careful PR framing, she has turned scrutiny into relevance and relevance into currency. Her story is not only about one actress. It is about how modern celebrity works. In a world where attention is the most valuable resource, those who can harness controversy without being destroyed by it have the power to shape their destinies. If you want to understand how celebrity power works in 2025, you study Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney is one of those rare figures who has mastered the game, and that is why her rise is not just fascinating, it is instructive.
I am so happy to be here. My name is Sydney Sweeney. You might have seen me in Anyone But You or Euphoria.